Hello and welcome. This is Alchemist X, and this is the weekly update for December 6th. So, this week we have a new unit, Claris, Thunder Magic unit. The 4-star fire unit, Ines, has a job plus on her Shrine Maiden type job. And there's a new challenge level. Other than that, there is not a whole lot going on. Slow week. So this is going to be a pretty quick video between this and the banner overview. But I did want to point out that because Claris looks to be a very strong magic unit, good for just raids or just general damage dealing, if you are interested, like you have the resources, that kind of thing, definitely a good opportunity because you can get bonus shards from this challenge board if you have her in addition to the regular soul shard quest. I would consider her to be a fairly good option resource-wise, just because she's a limited unit that you can transmute in the shop, and then she has a normal pool memento, so that makes it a little bit easier. It's not as, intensive as trying to snag a limited memento while it's still around. Definitely looks to be pretty good, though, because between the max limit break bonus and the VCR, you can get like 20% just all thunder damage collectively, so definitely good on that part, especially because her Gate 2 also gives her that attack enhancement buff. It's not as high as Dark Nyx's, which was like 50. For her it's 30, but still, that's a very, very good skill to have. Any character who gets a buff enhancement, it's always worth paying attention to. So the challenge level I briefly alluded to is one of those coin style ones with the gold coins, and it looks like they've streamlined it a little bit because you can do it only once a day, but there's also only 3 maps instead of like 6. There are no silver and no copper coins, so I like that a little bit more. If you're not able to get as much stuff from it, then that kind of sucks. But on the downside, I'm not sure how auto repeatable the hell level is, just because that requires some really good positioning, and if there's one thing that the AI cannot do, it is positioning. So I don't know about that, but for manual clear, it's not too bad. It's mostly just trying to set up chain reactions. Kind of reminds me of like a match 3 game, something like that. So about Enos's job plus, I haven't actually had time to do it yet, but it's just one of the coin styles. So you'll get coins from doing the EX map, EX plus, hell, etc. And then you can just go into the shop and buy the tokens, buy the equipment pieces. From what I can tell, it seems like it's pretty good, if for no other reason. I mean, stat buffs are always good, but if for no other reason, getting resistance to things like Alchemic Overload and Alchemic Crush, that's just really, really rare. So anytime there's a unit that can do something rare, I think it's worth picking them up, especially because if you've been playing for a while, you probably have all the Ines shards you could ever need. And then if you haven't been playing a while, you can get her for free, as well as 375 shards, so that's enough to just be a support capacity to help you beat the level and do all that kind of thing. So that's kind of handy. I mean, there's really no reason for them not to do that, just because she's not even a high rarity unit. So that's all I got for content. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the banners. And here we are at the banners. So in general for this week, I don't think there's much in the way of good banners. I think the only people that would really be interested in summoning on stuff are people that are going after Claris, and that's it. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot, but I'll go over it in detail. So first, for the paid summons, there's this very first one, I find it very baffling because it's like a paid summon version of the 3-step special summon. Or granted, each step is half the price of normal paid summons, but it's still just a normal summon. Aside from the fact that you also get the TAC festival coins, I really don't see this being worth the money. The only instance where I could possibly see this being worthwhile is if you really, really want to get Claris, and you bought the bundle that gives you the tickets, and then you're spending the paid gems you got from that bundle as well to try and get more shards of Claris to make transmuting her easier. And that's it. Even then, that's like the best case scenario, and that's still not a very good scenario. So I definitely see that as being a very easy skip. Then there is a slightly better one for mementos, but not great, where if you do all 3 steps, which is like $90, you can guarantee one of the new mementos, but they're also normal pool. I think it's way too many resources spent on something you could get for free later or just can potentially randomly get. So the first of the normal summons is a gear summon for 222 gems per step. Otherwise, just a normal gear summon. If you're relatively new, if there's a lot of gacha gears you want or need, then doing some steps of this may not be a bad idea. I think a lot of veteran players aren't really going to need to do this, though. It's because they probably picked off the gears that they would have needed from selectors. And most of the time, there's a few, like Saint's Meteor, of course, is great. Things like the Wonder Chrono, of course, the Kudenstein Scarf. So there definitely are good gacha gears out there, but there aren't that many, and gear selectors are fairly common, especially if you've been playing a while. So next, let's look at one of the few potentially worthwhile banners, which is really ironic because it's a 3-step unlimited, which normally is the most skip of all banners. But in this case, the only featured unit is Claris. So that means that every 3rd step you'll get 25 shards. So paying 7,500 gems for 25 shards is a pretty bad rate overall. You can get that down to 5,500 with the use of the first discount ticket of the month. But otherwise, I would really just consider it being worthwhile if you have fairly bad luck in the shop and you're using it as a supplement to transmute, but not necessarily as a replacement. Because if you wanted to go all the way on this, and including the milestone 25 shards, do this 5 times, including the discount ticket, you'd be looking at about 35,500 gems to guarantee Claris. And I think unless your luck is really, really bad in the shop, you could transmute her for less than that, including what you would be spending on the resets if you go up to the 300 per reset every day. So I think some people might be able to get some use out of a few steps of this banner, but definitely not a lot. So next we've got a special choose your own unit type of 3-step, but it's all normal pool with maybe Babel limiteds too. Yeah, Babel limiteds, but otherwise these are all units that you can just do the quests without having the unit and just transmute them. So I see it as a waste of gems. Then we've got the Memento banner. These are both normal pool. Definitely, I want to keep stating that. I definitely think Claris's at the very least is very, very good. So if you want it now, then it's definitely there. Sometimes it's worthwhile going after normal pool if you just really like the character, you really want it. I did that for Naju, never regretted it once. So this is the way to do that. Then we've got a 3-step banner that is similar to the one that we just looked at for units, where you can choose your own pool. Again, it is all normal pool stuff. So if there's a few, maybe you never got Judith's or you never got Zahar's, something like that, this could potentially be worth running if you want to be able to guarantee one of them. But I don't think most people need to do that. If you've been playing since Anniversary, there's some free mementos there. It seems kind of steep relative to what we've had fairly recently. Next we have got a... Oh wait, no, that's old. That's it, actually. So yeah, that's why I think it's a pretty easy skip week for most people, unless you've got your eyes on Claris. In that case, there's options to handle that. So with that, I'm going to sign out, and if you are going for Claris, good luck, and I will see you all next time.